Wild River, Chapter 15. The war begins. It's Tony making a scary face right in the beam of the flashlight. Gotcha! He crows, pleased with himself. We all laugh nervously, even Mia. That was awesome! Deke says, clapping Tony on the back. I jumped a foot. At first, I'm thinking Tony's prank has lightened the mood, that letting off steam is a good thing. At least Deke is no longer ranting, but it turns out he's still intent on taking over the backpack, or at least the food distribution, and he's determined we should vote on it. He props the flashlight on the ground so that we can see each other, shadowed and distorted but visible. This will be the leadership vote. You must choose, and we all agree to accept the result. Mia, do you agree? She looks around, trying to make eye contact with all of us. Yes, I agree. Deke says, raise your hand if you want Mia to be in charge. Mia and Amani immediately raise their hands. That's 2 out of 5. 3 out of 5 means Mia wins. I slowly raise my hand. What? Deke is shocked at the result. Are you serious? You're siding with the girls? Is something wrong with you? Are you mentally ill? That's it. That's the only explanation. You're a mental defective like your wacky dad. I'm stunned. Not by Deke's angry outburst. I expected that. But about the stuff about my dad, how does he know? I've never talked about it with anyone outside my family, except for the therapist my mother made me see, and I'm pretty sure the therapist is sworn to secrecy. If Deke knows, then everybody knows. It feels like I'm sinking into the ground, like I'm on a falling elevator, falling. Part of me wants to attack Deke, and part of me wants to run away. Weenie that I don't do or say anything, but one thing for sure, I'll never be the same again. This fall, I'm supposed to start a brand new regional middle school, full of kids I've yet to meet, and apparently all of them already have heard my father has serious mental health issues. Not gonna happen. I'll tell my mom and she'll have to make other arrangements. Send me to another school district, far enough away they don't know my secret shame, that sometimes my dad is so freaked out, so agitated, he has to be confined. It happened when I was 9 years old, and I'll never ever forget it. My father was in the state hospital for 3 weeks. It felt like forever. Mia says to Deke, that's so mean. What you said. What if it was you? How would you feel? He gives a cruel laugh, like throwing myself off a cliff. Amani says, oh, stop, you rotten bully. You called for the vote and you lost. Get over it. We need to be a team. We need to help each other, not make fun of each other. Oh, yeah, the person I need to help is me, okay? Because I'm sick of being hungry, and I'm sick of some dumb little girl ordering me around. So that's what I'm going to do, help myself. Deke kicks the flashlight, and as Mia scrambles to retrieve it, he yanks the backpack away from her and shoves her to the ground. Mine, he says. Believe it. He slips the strap over his shoulder, steps out from under the tarp, and vanishes into the night. Wait for me! Tony shouts. And a moment later, he's gone too. Chapter 16. 3 choices. It happened so fast, we're stunned into silence. What can you say when your world turns upside down? We had a chance to survive by working together, by supporting each other, and Deke changed everything when he snatched the backpack and split us up. 3 against 2. We outnumber them, but Deke and Tony together are stronger than we are, as he just proved. Mia fumbles around and recovers the flashlight. At least they didn't take the flashlight or the tarp. This is so messed up, I say. What can we do? If you want to change your vote, that's allowed. I shake my head. Realizing they can't see me, I say, no way, I chose the right side. Deke's out of control, and that makes them dangerous. They'll get themselves killed. Amani goes, at least they'll die with full bellies, assuming they can make a fire. Mia says fiercely, we have 3 choices. 1, we do nothing. 2, we stay where we are and hope to be rescued. 2, we follow the river like we planned, but without food or fire. 3, we wait until dawn, find the enemy, and take back what is ours. The enemy? I asked. What else would you call them? I open my mouth, but can't think of what to say. She's right. If you shove a girl to the ground and steal from her, you are an enemy. If you leave her without food or fire, you are an enemy. So what do you choose? She wants to know. Monty and I both say, 3! We take back what is ours, if we can figure out how to do it. The night seems to last 1,000 years. Mia and Amani sound like they're sleeping. No way I can nod off too. I'm too charged up, too worried. What if they come back to steal the tarp with a flashlight? What if the mountain lion is hunting for a midnight snack? Weapon. I need a weapon. And I have one, sort of. My jackknife. Okay, it's a tool with a short blade for cutting and carving, but maybe it could be a weapon? In the darkness, my imagination runs wild. I imagine confronting Deke and Tony with a jackknife, demanding they hand over the backpack. And then I imagine Deke yanking the knife out of my hands and stabbing me with my own weapon. Ouch, gross. What I can't seem to imagine is me stabbing anyone, not for food, not for anything. That kind of violence makes me sick. Sorry, but you already know I'm a wuss. I'm bad at sports. I'm even worse at war. Forget the jackknife. My stomach is growling, begging for food. I've never really been hungry before, not like this. Hunger is like a little brother tugging at my sleeve, begging for something to eat, keeping me awake. This is so lame, but I can't stop thinking about pancakes. The Mother's Day morning when me and my brothers wrecked the kitchen, trying to make pancakes for Mom so she could have breakfast in bed, and how happy she was, despite the mess in the kitchen and the fact the pancakes tasted like rubber. How she gave us a group hug and said how lucky she was to have 4 wonderful sons and that we were not to worry because everything was going to be okay, even if it seemed scary sometimes. That was the year Dad was in the hospital for almost a month, and we were all worried sick. To this day, I believe that group hug saved us and kept the family together. Mom's magic hug made all the difference. Eventually, I must have fallen asleep, because the next thing I know, the girls are nudging me awake. Hey, sleepyhead! Time to take back what's ours. In the dim light of dawn, I can see that they're grinning at me like they know something I don't. And they're both holding long wooden sticks, slender branches that look an awful lot like spears. What's going on? What do they have in mind? Mia stands at attention, shoulders back, chin up. Maria Valentina Garcia, ready for battle. Is this a joke? The opposite, Amani says, hefting her spear. We assume you'll be joining us? I've been thinking about that, I say miserably. I don't think I can do it. They look at each other and then look at me. Amani says, You stood up to a mountain lion. You can stand up to a bully and his clown. Let's go. That's the end of day 3. Day 4. Chapter 17. Die, die, die. Mia hands me one of the spears they made while I was asleep. It doesn't have a sharp end, so it's not like you could really hurt something or someone with it, but still it looks like a weapon. Better than nothing, Amani says, to defend ourselves. Right. We march into the daylight brandishing our sticks. We're bad, wicked bad. Standing tall, unafraid. Well, pretending to be unafraid. Show fear to a bully, he'll use it against you. Which way? Amani asks. I shrug helplessly. It's not like I know anything about tracking. There, Mia says, pointing at a small strip of cloth stuck to the brambles. We push carefully through the scratchy brambles and spot a trail of muddy footprints, heading back to the direction we came from yesterday. I put my finger to my lips. We must be silent. They can't be far away. How far could they get in the dark of night without a flashlight? We follow the footsteps through the area of bushes into a forest of slender aspen trees. The rain is a gentle mist and almost feels good, washing away the grit and sweat of a long and mostly sleepless night. I snug the brim of my cap, convinced we're doing something important, something absolutely necessary, defending ourselves, and I'm proud that my 2 companions have faith in me to do the right thing. I hope I'm up to it. It's not like I have a lot of experience standing up to bullies, like none. Up to now, if a bully picked on me, I did my best to avoid him. Don't be surprised I keep telling you I'm no hero. Once, when I was in 4th grade, an older kid grabbed my glasses and stomped them to bits. I never told the truth. Instead, I took the blame, claiming I broke my own glasses while fooling around in the jungle gym. Glasses are expensive, and my dad wasn't working at the time. Mom sent me to bed early as a punishment, all because I was afraid to tell on a kid who could stomp me like he stomped my glasses. Mia points and whispers, "Over there!" Eyes of an eagle. That's Mia. Through the skinny aspens, she spotted a place where a large stone slab juts out from a hillside, and there, under that slab, is the enemy. Deke and Tony, sound asleep, stretched out like they don't have a care in the world. Their campfire is still smoking, pine branches from a tree that fell under the slab out of the rain. As we get closer, we can see the water pan resting in the ashes and a couple of empty freeze-dried food packets. Mia is seething. The first thing those jerks did was eat 12 servings of food between them. 2 full packages. No wonder they're sleeping like spoiled babies. But Mia will have to hold her temper. What's important is recovering the backpack and whatever is left of the food. Mia's plan of attack is that one of us sneaks up as silently as possible and takes the pack while they're sleeping. We discuss it quietly, and Amani is having none of it. "We need to scare them," she whispers fiercely. "Otherwise, they'll attack us again. We have to end this right now while we have a chance." She has a better idea, and once she explains it, I know in my heart she's right. Gripping our spears, we creep up to the sleeping boys. If only they knew what was about to happen. But they don't, and that gives us an advantage. On the silent count of 3, we leap to our feet, shaking our spears like warriors and shrieking at the top of our lungs, "Die! Die! Die! Die!" Not that anyone is going to die or even get hurt. It's all for show, to put fear into them. They're on the ground, confused, waking up to a nightmare. We swarm all over them, screaming and stamping our feet and shaking our weapons. They don't stand a chance. Mia grabs the pack. Amani snatches the water pan, and we screech off into the forest. The war isn't over, but we won the battle, and it sure feels good. Chapter 18. Making a fire. About 100 yards from the enemy camp, we pause to catch our breath. "What's next?" Amani wants to know. "Daniel," Mia asks, "any ideas?" "Grab the tarp and put some distance between us. We can't let them get ahead or they'll ambush us." "I agree." Amani runs back, grabs the tarp, and Mia tucks it into the backpack. "Ready? Let's go!" We take off running. Now that the attack is over, I'm scared to death. We threaten them with sticks that look like spears. What will they do in revenge? Use real sharpened sticks? It wouldn't surprise me, and the fear of it helps me run. Not flat out running. I can't keep up for that long. More like jogging. We're following the path of least resistance, avoiding thick woodlands and underbrush that might slow us down, but trying not to stray too far from the river. Lose the river, and we'll truly be lost. Jogging in the misty rain on an empty stomach, not my idea of a fun adventure. I pretend we'll find a restaurant along the way, an old-style, 24-hour breakfast diner like we have in New Hampshire. I'll order pancakes and eggs and sausage and toast and home fries and a big glass of cold milk. I never had a goal in my life. Not really, but I do now. If we survive this, I never want to be hungry again. I don't know how long we keep going, but it feels like hours. Eventually, Amani begs us to stop. She has a pain under her ribs and can't go on, not without resting for a while. "Fine," Mia says. "Daniel, can you help me rig the tarp? We need to eat something." Like before, finding dry kindling is a problem. By the time I gather enough for a fire, Mia has emptied out the backpack. Turns out Deke and Tony did even more damage than we expected. In addition to gorging on the freeze-dried meals, they used all the fire starter cubes. "Who would do that?" Mia says, more in wonder than in anger. "Someone who believes they'll be rescued today. No need to plan for tomorrow, if helicopters are on the way." Mia snorts. "Have you heard any helicopters?" "Just saying." "So, how do we start a fire?" I ask. She hands me the tin box containing the fire starter kit. The easy-to-light cubes may be gone, but we still have waterproof matches and the flint stick for striking sparks. I'm so hungry, my hands are shaking. So it takes 3 matches to coax a flame in a pile of slightly damp leaves. Please don't go out, please, please, please. The leaves are barely burning when I add twigs and carefully blow on the smoky pile that's going to save our lives. Come on, flames. Come on, fire. The girls are watching, not saying anything, hope in their eyes. They trust me, which is amazing. Nobody outside my family has ever needed to trust me. It makes me anxious but proud. When our little fire is strong and true, I place a pan of rainwater above the flames and wait for it to boil. The smoke from the fire, trapped under the tarp, makes my eyes water, but it's a small price to pay for the life-giving fire. Amani clears her throat. I was thinking, how did Deke find that shelter last night? In the dark without a flashlight? Mia cocks her head, considering it. Then she nods to herself. He knew where he was going. He already knew it was there. I agree. That must be it. He spotted a good shelter when we were hiking, but didn't tell us because he was saving it for himself, in case he lost the vote. He was planning to steal the backpack all along. The water comes to a boil, and we pour it into the food pouch. 10 minutes until it's ready. My stomach is begging. Feed me, please, feed me, feed me. It means he plans ahead, Amani says, very serious. Mia nods. It means he's even more dangerous than we thought. At last we eat, before the enemy can spoil our appetites. Chapter 19. Something Shining. We give up on the jogging. The stitch in Amani's side is still bothering her and concentrate on fast walking, putting miles between us and the enemy. Or, so we hope. There's no predicting what Deke might do, except that one way or another he'll want to get the food back under his control. Food. Mushy, tasting, freeze-dried food. Hard to believe that's what this war is all about. It may seem stupid. It is stupid. But try not eating for a few days and maybe you'll understand. Hunger takes over your brain. It's all you can think when you're awake and all you dream about when you're asleep. Food, food, food. We have 7 packages left, Mia reminds us when we take a short break. 6 if we leave one behind for the enemy. What? You do that? She shrugs. I think about it. Deke is a bully and a thief, but that doesn't mean he should starve. And Tony, he's just wrong. Trying to be friends with the wrong person. They ate 12 meals between them. They're hardly starving. Not today and maybe not tomorrow, but if we haven't been rescued by the 3rd day, we'll take a vote on sharing. A vote? The last one didn't go so good. That makes Amani roll her eyes. Didn't go so good. Doesn't come close to describing what happened. Better keep moving, I suggest. You know who may be catching up. We find ourselves climbing along the edge of a higher ravine looking down at the river below. Not as much flood debris as we saw before. What there is has been washed up as the sharp curves of the river. Piles of uprooted trees. Heaps of gravel. Boulders that must have rolled for miles when the dam broke. Did you see that? Mia says, pointing toward the river with her spear. What? I ask, fearful she's spotted the enemy about to attack. Something shining under those logs. I squint at where she's pointed. Yes, there's something down there. Not a log or a boulder. Something that shines. Metal. Climbing down from the top of the ravine takes a while. Falling is not an option, so we're forced to go slow. Using our spears as walking sticks, helping each other along the trail, heading for the curve of the river. The piles of debris loom bigger and bigger the closer we get. It's probably nothing, I say, not wanting to get our hopes up. Mia grunts. She hasn't said much since pointing out the shiny thing, but she's determined to find it, as if she thinks it might be useful, whatever it is. Amani is even more solemn than usual, like she's worried it will be a bad thing or a sad thing. It turns out to be a sad thing. There, under that pile! I climb over the splintered trees, lowering myself almost to water level. The river is still a river, even though it's clogged with broken things, and what Mia spotted is as broken as it can get. So broken, it takes me a while to figure out what I'm looking at. Sky Hansen's transport van, crushed like a soda can in a cement mixer.